What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, Coti just had a pretty good breakout for the last few days. Of course, we have been stuck within this downtrend. We wanted to see that we were able to break that downtrend, establish some support on top of this key crucial level at 49 to 48 cents, and from there start to work our way back up to go set some of those new higher highs, of course. Well, as you can see, let's go back down to the hour. It was pretty fast. Over the last hour, we have seen that nice breakout to the upside. Now, I actually did play this breakout. I was keeping a close eye on those 5-minute charts, just watching it as we did get real close to it. As you can see here, I put a trade alert in the Patreon. I said Coti 0.54 entry, 50.5 stop loss set. I said a very small cash entry. I think it was like $600 or so. I was not going like, it wasn't one of those major long-term position increases. It was just something, let's get in and let's get out. If you want to short-term trade Coti on this one, I think a 0.55 for a 1.8% gainer makes sense, but I'm personally going to hold a bit longer. I was taking a little bit more of a risk. I thought we could see a little bit more upwards momentum. So we met that price target of 0.55 within about 30 seconds off of that message. We then saw, so of course that was about a 1.8% gain in the course of about 3 minutes from that initial buy. So I said, I'm still holding personally. I then say Coti's now up 5% in 6 minutes. So just 3 minutes later, we saw another 4% gain from there. And I closed it at that 5% gain. And I said, if we clear 0.60 and hold support, I will enter on a more long-term play. So I played this one. It was one that I was like, there's so much resistance. I felt like we were seeing a bit of a coil, and that if we saw that clearing of the trend line, that we would see that big spike. So I let us clear that trend line. I let us clear that 0.54, which was our short-term swing high, swing low, 0.786. Once we cleared 54 cents, I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get in. Of course, again, another 5% gain there. Now, the reason I did not hold this thing, is one, how fast it moved. Likelihood is there's going to be some type of pullback. As you can see on the 5-minute charts, this thing's starting to just slow down a bit. We reached our key short-term swing high down to swing low Fibonacci resistance here, and we anticipated that. That's why I exited. I was like, look, we're probably going to run into some resistance now. We cleared it so fast that we're going to run into that 786, 618 zone and likely see some type of pullback, and so that's why I went ahead and I closed that position. But there's more of a long-term area that we need to watch right now. There's something happening in the more mid to long term that'll serve as very, very important. Okay. Now, what that's going to be is going to be the fact that we are still looking at a possible head and shoulders here. Now, of course, you guys know we're possibly looking at this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay. Now, one thing we can also see is that on the 4-hour charts, we're pushing right back up to this trend line. And the issue with this becomes, if we reach resistance here and start to roll back over, that likely will coincide with a push back up to that right shoulder, left shoulder height here at about 60 cents, which of course is our previous all-time high. And if that was to happen and we roll here and we roll here, you guys know that that head and shoulders breakdown target is pretty massive. Okay, we could still be looking at some type of fall of, let's go get our line here, top to bottom, top of our head to the shoulder line. If we apply that to the shoulder line, we're still looking at a fall down to 30 cents on that head and shoulders breakdown target. Okay. So what we need to pay close attention to is, now that we've seen this breakout to the upside, we absolutely need to clear 60 cents. 60, I would say 61 cents to play it safe. Okay. That's the reason I closed that trade. I'm still a bit skeptical of if right now we are going to be able to clear this, considering this is such a strong level of resistance as well as this line as well. And so what I'm looking for is that clearing. Now, if we see that clearing, of course, we see that clearing and holding of support, I will be re-entering on a short, more of a midterm, long-term trade, as I think Coti would start to get into a pretty massive uptrend. But until we are able to break that RSI, until we're able to break that trend line, I'm still a bit skeptical of the upward momentum in which we can see. Now, do be aware that even if we were to see some type of fall here, right? Even if this plays out, which we hit our head, we come back down, and we lose this key level of support at 48 cents. It's not the end of the world. Now, I don't necessarily think this is going to happen. I'm very neutral. I'm not sure 100% where it's going to go, but I know how to be ready for it, right? I know if it clears this, we're going long. If it clears this, we're going short. Okay. But what we're looking to see happen right now is, if the price does roll over, say the worst case scenario comes and we roll over here, again, it's not the end of the world, because this breakdown target of about 31 cents in which we do have down here off that head and shoulders, if we simply just go from our swing low that we set to our swing high, we can see that coincides pretty close to the 0.786 down to the bottom side. And we've seen time and time again the price go up, come back down to a 618786, set that new high. Go up, come back down to 618786, set that new high. So it's still very within the realm of possibility that we do come back up to set this new high off of some accumulationary phase in this buy zone, okay? But for now, if we want to see it go up in the short term, we definitely need to be looking at it closing above 60 and not running into so much resistance that we come back down to retest this 48-cent mark. We do that, do anticipate likely there is going to be some type of continuous fall down to some of our key support levels, okay? So I know you guys are excited and I know things are looking great. We're seeing that breakout to the upside of that little short-term trend in which we were in. But again, until we clear this level, don't get too excited, okay? I'm not a financial advisor and you can do what you want, but there is the risk that we are going to run into resistance here that we're unable to clear. Now, if we do start to roll here, right? Say we come back test some of this support and we lose 49 cents, this doesn't even matter. Okay, this is completely irrelevant. We need to be looking at a possible fall to the downside, which would likely mean that's a right shoulder. Okay, left shoulder, head, right shoulder there, continuous fall to the downside, okay? So as long as we're above 49 cents, 48 cents, we're gravy. We're all good, no problem. But if this thing starts to roll and we come back down to lose that level, do not be surprised to see a more, substantial fall down to possibly 45, down to 40, possibly down to 31. Okay, we have key levels of support here. So watch these things, watch how this all plays out. I think this is going to happen probably within the next day and a half. I think we will for sure see a breakout of one of these unless we enter into some big consolidationary event. But I think with the excitement that we're seeing around Coti and Cardano right now, that it'll just continue to be a little bit more volatile. So of course we will pay close attention to it. So with that being said, that's the update for the day. I know it's fast. I'm talking a little bit fast, but that is because this thing is moving really quick. And I want to make sure you all have this information as soon as I can possibly get it out to you. So with that being said, of course, if you did enjoy today's video, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss a Coti update, and I will see you all next time. Peace.